the airbender.
Breath is the internet of consciousness. Imagine every action driven by conscious, healthy breaths. Each exhale bringing clarity and strength. This initial focus can transform worries into actionable, positive change. Now is the time to harness this inner power, making every moment count for the future we all shape together. Focus. Make this message resonate, share it, live it, and let it inspire impactful actions in others. Breathe it. Sometimes people feel misled by the Bible because even evil people read it. Just as breath patterns shape our being, true understanding and transformation come not from mere words, but from the depth of our breath and intention. Breathe deeply, live authentically, and let your actions speak the truth. If mind and matter are the same, how can one be above the other? Master the breath patterns within, and you will master all things. For everything breathes. Everything has its rhythm and contrast. Through breath, we connect with the essence of life and the balance of nature. What you breathe life into defines your purpose. How we deal within is projected outwards. Your nervous system regulates itself. Its poor breath patterns, the suppression of emotions, stored trauma, and environmental toxins that truly disrupt it. The true foundation of all sports is breathing. Master the internal breath, and you'll be generations ahead. External breathwork doesn't compare.
Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. I gotta keep on walking on the road to Zion. Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there. We gotta keep on walking on the road to Zion. Jah will be waiting there. Jah will be waiting there. We gotta keep it burning on the road to Zion. Jah will be waiting there. 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 Jah will be waiting there, we shall. Jah will be waiting there.
The breath is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It is hidden, but always present. The breath feeds both good and evil. It understands light dwells within darkness. Transcend duality and feel more. The breath has experienced everything in the cosmos. Tune in and connect, for you are made up of every material in the universe.
The breath feeds your strength and weaknesses. Honor it and find the center. The question is, are you going to improve the quality of the breath, since the quantity is irrelevant?
When internal value is fully realized with the breath, external circumstances will want you to forget. The point of the game is to never forget, not even for a second. Elevate the quality of breath beyond the quality of your environment. You are not confined by external means. The breath is an expansive consciousness. The breath is my universe, and the universe is my breath. Your demons have no hesitation bringing you down. So why should you hesitate living above them, breath by breath?
As far as the eyes can see, you will be seeing the children of the Most High. Will tribes of Israel from creation over the mountains side, far over the mountain side, as far as your eyes can see, far over.
May this breath guide you, breaking the chains and limitations you put on yourself. To reject the power of the breath is like rejecting love.
We want it, we want it. I sit so high, so high. Far over the mountainside, far over the mountainside, far over.
The devil is a lie, the breath is the truth. The lungs are spirit wallets. Fill it with quality breaths. Hitchhike with breathwork on the road to inner standing. The breath is a mystical communication that keeps us together. He or she who feels the breath knows it. The inhale watches the exhale, and the exhale watches the inhale. The breath knows when to move. It is a master observer. In Jamaica, we have a saying, belly full but they're starving. Without full quality breaths, you will perceive lack. Man shall not live on bread alone. Life is like the weather. The breath is a tornado that guides us. The moment you start breathing like life is a blessing, it starts feeling like one. As one takes its last breath, the body falls to the earth. Your body belongs to nature. Purify and get in tune. Don't get mad when rejected by someone or something. They have done you a favor by not wasting your time. The breath, on the other hand, will never reject you and gives you quality time. The breath is proof we're meant to live, not to survive. Let thy food be thy medicine. The breath is like the endless river that feeds the spirit of plants. Breath is a conductor for the symphony of life. The breath has many different flavors. We use breathwork to taste them. The breath is living proof of eternal intelligence. We have external governments because we can't govern ourselves. The breath brings you closer to the source that governs your soul. Knowing this, one can govern themselves. Full breaths equal full expression of life. Breathwork might get you to a point where you're breathing fire. Start burning egos. The breath dwells in the realm of harmony because its inner vision is never tainted. Fear is a product of not breathing in the now. One is looking for breaths outside of their reality. The breath is so real, everyone can relate. The breath is the true teacher. Breathwork is the classroom. Truth is not information from no book. Truth is an experience. The breath brings you closer to that truth, whatever it may be at that given time. Discover it. Circulation keeps you youthful, not food. Breath controls circulation. The blood is amplified breath, i.e. spirit. The breath is like the tears from the heaven, bringing life to plants when they are dry. The breath is the universe's light used to illuminate the darkness. The more you follow the breath into innocence, watch those who dwell in ignorance sail away like two ships passing by in the middle of the night. Natural law will always be. No human is above it. Suicidal thoughts. This man asked, "Why does no one love me?" I answered, "Well, something loves you and nurtures you every day." He asks, "What's that?" I answered, "The breath." Cleansing without breathwork is like cleaning a spill without any paper towel. Either move with life or go against. The choice is yours. The breath is filled with no intention, just an endless void of possibilities. The breath is one with eternal peace. It was never born. One of the many sins of life is paying no attention to your breathing. It's the core of your existence. No amount of anxiety will change what's already going to happen. Breathwork, on the other hand, will give you more confidence to deal with it. Harmonious breaths equal harmonious perception of life. The more quality breaths you take, the less you need. With certain types of breathwork, you lower the amounts of breath taken, thus creating a backlog versus one set number of karmic breaths they are given in this lifetime. You are literally getting close to staring death in the face and telling it no. This is a state of samadhi. Life as a whole becomes psychedelic if you are aware of the natural mystic in the air. False tears bring you pain to those around you. False smiles brings pain to oneself. The breath reminds you of true feelings within. In the beginning, the Creator created breath before human. Adam and Eve needed something to work with. Alchemy breathwork unifies every situation with the breath, leading one there. It's more than just breath sessions. Breathwork can't change the world. It's already in perfect harmony. It can change the people. Before the action of greed and other monstrosities occurred, there was a thought. Before the thought, there was breathing patterns of disharmony. Breathwork connects with harmony, thus giving one more incentive to do more harmonious actions. Before the fall of mankind, we were breathing more in harmony. You can tell from the old remains of giant trees and ancient technology that were more advanced than today's technology. Still, scientists can't explain how the pyramids were built. Breathwork is Netflix for the soul. The breath is filled with living, omnipresence, balance, energy, love. Every breath is in service towards your progression. If your inner world is in balance, how does one expect their outside world to be balanced? The breath is in balance with all things. Be more like the substance that feed you every second. Breathwork is an inner body experience and allows you to get closer to the full true breath. Anything that numbs you pushes you away from that experience of full embodiment. The breath is the secretary to your human experience. The breath dwells within past, future, and present. It doesn't see the difference. Realizing the breath in every situation is a powerful step towards a mindset of abundance and foundation and support. In Alchemy breathwork, we focus beyond the session. The breath is not earned, it's given. Quality breaths is earned through breathwork. Want to see fireworks every day? Step 1. Decalcify your pineal gland. Step 2. Build up your awareness through breathwork or meditation. Step 3. After every session, look into space or the sky or sun. Step 4. Observe with more precision and let go and witness the fireworks around you in everyday life. Our manifestations and experience is exhalation from the quality of thoughts and breaths we produce. If one does not value health, breath, and purpose, one is dying to live. Deep down, the soul wants to live, so it's not suffocating from lack of full expression. Before the thought, there was the breath. Control the breath, control your thoughts. three things that will not be hidden: the sun, the moon, the breath. Breathe to the fullest so you can live to the fullest.
Yes. Drug is my driver. Drug is my rider. What drives the wheel who spin the wheel spin. Drug is the front end. Drug is the engine. What drives the reggae? Drug is the water. Who cool off the engine sound? Who cool off the engine, Jaja? Cool off the engine.
To break old habits and patterns, change the ignition, hence the breath algorithms. The breath is a living legend. Incomplete breaths is incomplete thoughts dwelling in the perception of disassociation. Full expression of life requires a full breath. Ego is only a part of the whole spectrum and dwells in separation. Breathwork gets you in the timeless void. No experience can limit you. The breath has no limits. Breathwork helps you break the breath fast, getting closer to that full true breath. The breath respects the energy of the unknown. That is why it feeds us. The breath is a conscious being's best friend. Life without a relationship with breath is like having a cell phone without service. You feel less connected to the world around you. The stress of life will try to bury you.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Breathe elevation over ignorance.
Yes, I did. Rastafari.
Thank you all for sharing the breath.
The more quality breaths you take, the less you need. Quality over quantity is the name of the game. Life is a breath. How we breathe determines the quality. Abundance does not directly translate to wealth. Wealth is a result of abundant living. Abundance is a lifestyle. The first place to find abundance is with the breath. New breathing patterns equal new behaviors, equals new perceptions. To acknowledge infinity, acknowledge the breath. Feel what your body tells you every second. There's a heart that is pumping, a gut that's moving, an immune system that's fighting, and feedback after anything ingested. Subtle breaths and cues that speak without language. Appreciate this beauty. We're blessed to live in such a vehicle. The breath is the last vehicle you will ever ride in this lifetime. Might as well learn how the gears work. You can read as many books as you'd like, but if you can't read yourself in breath patterns affecting your thoughts and emotions, you'll never learn a thing. Breath work is an interaction between you and the non-physical parts of your being. Nature provides quality exhales. You need quality inhales to feel its full expression. You can give a person knowledge, but you can't make them think. Some people want to remain in their ego of walls they created, only because the truth requires change of pace and breath patterns. Everything happened to you. Let it. The beauty and the horror. Just keep breathing. No feeling is final. The breath, however, is eternal. The breath is like water. Big or small, it has no form. The breath has no fixed plans, and it is not intent on arriving. The breath knows we have done things in past lives, and it knows what you are doing in this life. To know breath is to know yourself. It literally gives inspiration to your whole existence. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward with the present breath. Your natural vibration is already high. Learn to release breath patterns that bring it down. In 6 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on with every breath. When you acknowledge the shared breath, you acknowledge your humanity. Perhaps the worst will happen. Perhaps not. But until then, look forward to better things. You are not breathing in the past nor future. One can remind you of the breath, but if you can't feel it, it'll never work. When you eliminate time, which is another stress factor, 1 breath per minute becomes a closer reality. You are breathing in your ancestors. You are the strength of your ancestors carrying on their legacy to expanded heights. You have the power over your mind and breath, not outside events. Realize this and you'll find your strength. When you run away from the breath, you run away from yourself and life's responsibilities that enable you to move forward. It's like you're disrupting the natural flow, causing imbalances. Breath is a strong alliance with all as it unfolds as an ally to your greater being. Humans love to count their troubles. They don't calculate their happiness or the breaths to get there. Physical connection is common breath. Connection is rare. Take responsibility and awareness to your own power. Control thy breath and emotions, and control the boat that sails towards infinite growth. Deeper breaths reveal hidden layers of confidence. The spirit could care less how hard the external world is pushing. It is soft and malleable. If you choose not to take ownership of the breath, external influences will, creating shallow breaths and thoughts, thus creating a shallow reality. Breathing with your mouth open during a panic attack is like adding gasoline to a fire. Breathwork builds emotional reflex. Until you change your breathing, you will always recycle the limitations and fears you create. Quality breaths create a chain reaction of quality habits. If the breath was a person, it would be the type to talk to the stars. Oh wait, that's us. Everyone is looking at the final action, but not the breaths in between to get there. If you think breathing is one-dimensional, I encourage you to expand your breath consciousness. You are a multi-dimensional being. The breath is still teaching me till this day. That's how infinite it is. Slaying demons at all costs. Anything that costs your inner peace is expensive. Every breath counts. It's not the more you breathe that counts. It's about how efficiently you use each breath. If you're running away from the full breath, you're running from full embodiment and your full essence. Your three homes: breath and body and earth and mind. Take care of them. You move different when you understand your breathing and emotions. Synchronistic breaths equal more synchronistic events. I want the breath in the universe to know, even through the rough times, I still recognize them as being something greater than myself. I won't give up the faith, whether something is going good, or bad for me. As you train the body by correcting the breath, you train the mind by correcting the thought. Breathe deep during peace so you can thrive when the chaos comes. With daily breath work, repeated acts of weakness are replaced by daily acts of power. Repeated thoughts of weakness are replaced by repeated acts of strength. If one is taking quality breaths, they could care less if the grass is greener on the other side. Breathe as if the grass is greener wherever you go. Inhale equals inspiration equals in spirit. Step 1, become woke. Step 2, try to tell others how to live their lives based on how woke you now believe that you are. Step 3, become more woke. Step 4, realize you know nothing and finally shut the fuck up. Step 5, learn to listen. Step 6, learn to breathe. Breath health affects our spiritual health. Natural law acts without expectations, just like the breath. It's an inevitable reaction to life. Your worth is intangible, just like the breath. You control the quality. What you do frequently is your frequency. Take frequent quality breaths. The breath is candid. The breath favors no one. Every being is equal in its presence. Everything is a spiritual business. Some businesses are in the business in making someone with a spirit sick to get them to pay for their chemical-made medicine. Some are in the business in harnessing life force energy in the form of porn. Some are in the business of mental manipulation in the form of political gain. Everything is a spiritual business. Instead of believe, feel and breathe in it until it manifests for you. Don't overthink how it will happen. Don't worry about when it will happen. Just breathe in it. Feel in yourself. When the trauma passes, the breath shines through. Greet the breath with gratitude every rising and feel your emotional vision rise. Depletion is related to everything that distracts you from breath. Breath reveals life as a puzzle. It isn't picture perfect. You can miss perfection in it because it is subtle. The breath gives clear directions when one follows its lead. When a person cannot find deep sense of meaning with the breath, they distract themselves with external pleasures. Transformation is through the breath and body, not away from it. This is why no true master has ever advocated fighting or leaving the body. Alchemy breathwork is an inner body experience. The breath may not have a physical heart, but it feeds your astral and physical one. The breath has never denied the seeker. It is the seeker that has denied the breath. Communication is one thing, but your breathing pattern while communicating is everything. The one who is anxious, trying to capture breaths from the future is miserable. The breath heard the heartbeat and blessed its owner. The breath speaks simply the energetic truth. Only your fear rambles. Every moment spent on focusing on someone else's breath is time spent away from yourself. I have never met a strong person with an easy life. Be proud of your scars, pain, and that you're still breathing. To say all breathwork is the same is like saying All food and music is the same. The mouth produces nitric oxide. Where do they do that at? If you're a tantric male, don't be afraid to moan during sex. Breathe with every stroke, moaning included. Express your nature. If you hold it, you trap energy. To trap energy is to create blockages causing you to nut faster. Powerful men can last as long as they want without spilling the seed and circulate it for healing instead of wasting it like the masses who have been submissive to society's brainwashing of porn and overhyped sexuality. Take responsibility of your gifts. Open in breath to be full of power. Ego wants more, breath needs less. You have to cherish each breath a different way when you know the clock is ticking. When we breathe in a patient manner, we take in wisdom. It demonstrates we understand and accept the fact that sometimes things must unfold in their own time. The sun sees your body. The moon sees your soul. The breath sees a connection between you and every star. When you feel a stagnant tension, know that you are holding a powerful source hostage. Know that a shift of letting go will set it free to be in new form. Exhale and let it go with respect, for when it comes back to you, a deeper reverence will greet you on the inhale. Growth is not fear. Every breath feeds your growing cells. You respond out of love, not fear. Focus attention upon alignment with every breath. Growth occurs naturally. Breath is a spark of all creativity, beauty, love, and inspiration. Thank you all for sharing the breath. To download Breath Town 1, 2, and 3, you can find the link in the description or get them for free when you join the members group, and all digital downloads included, including courses and more Alchemy Breathwork content. Thank you again for sharing the breath. Peace. Hello, conscious breathers and infinite beings alike. You can ignore the reality and breath patterns, but you cannot ignore consequences of ignoring that reality and breathing pattern. Breath is the truth. Our distractions are compounded lies we feed to emotionally suffocate ourselves. When you run away from yourself to external things that have empty substance, you run away from your highest potential. A version of you that enjoyed a full quality breath in life as it is, not what it could or should be. That version accepted its power to attract, not chase. So there is birth, there is death, and there is breath in between. Any breathing technique that involves holding the breath on the inhale is stimulating the nervous system. All modern people are already overstimulated. So these breathing techniques are counterintuitive. The breathing techniques seem to work at first because they stimulate you. But over time, you will notice that your anxiety is not really going away. In Alchemy breathwork, we do not hold the breath. We detach from the energy. So grow in your own essence and willpower, where you give less power to external things. You talk in panic when you cease to be at peace with your breath and self. Your shadow will leave you when it's dark out, but the breath remains. Your spirit shines in the darkest of hours. Paying attention gives it more light. Healing yourself with quality breaths is one of the greatest comebacks. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens the breath of life that connects dreams and reality beyond separation. Being attracted to someone's way of breathing is a whole different level of attraction and vibration. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves and every conscious breath we co-create. So many lives and breaths to bring you to this moment in time. You have a bulletproof soul. A full exhale is a state of being full of potential. Above all, don't lie to yourself. Use the breath as guidance towards your highest truth. It's so real you can feel the path. Being sick of opportunities for growth given by the universe is like being sick of breathing. Learning to have calm breaths while being disrespected and understanding that that person is projecting their trauma is a superpower. Your actions are fueled by breath. Make them high-quality ones to help produce quality results. Breathe the change you wish to see in the world. Breath is the currency of life. The memory of cells gives the resonance of our voices and actions. Breath is a spark to cause the resonance, and attached is the memory of all our ancestors. Breathe with conscious reverence. The information that our cores use to distribute all of its intelligence throughout the body is the breath. One who does not know ease of breath is constantly attracting disease. Pay attention to breath patterns changing around people, food after eating, and thought patterns. You're bound to crash into your trauma. Fuel the vehicle that is the body with high frequency and breaths, so by impact, most pieces are intact, ready for optimal healing. Stop waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel and light that shit up yourself with every breath. How you respond reveals the state of your breath awareness. Loneliness is not cured by human company. Loneliness is cured by connecting with the breath, leading to connection with reality. The DNA is the software. Breath, habits, and thought patterns is what programs it. You are what you are trying to become. You are just not aware of it. The moment you commit to breathing like you are it is the moment you change and create the chain reaction that starts a ripple effect to you living it. Breathe life into the thought pattern as an owner of that reality and witness actions that feed and make it blossom till you no longer doubt that reality. Paying more attention to quality breaths breeds and feeds a positive reality. Breath is the inspiration before the thought. To inspire is to inhale. What you do frequently is your frequency. Things you should never apologize for. Breathing, being emotional, having high standards, being yourself, taking time to regain space and peace. Depression, anxiety, and trusting your intuition. Many look for enlightenment as a big ending to it all, which can be further from the truth. The breath shares enlightenment in a never-ending cycle. When they ask for the old you, take a step back, breathe, and repeat after me. I cannot deny my ascension. As you rise in breath and frequency, many won't be on the same page as you. The table of contents within life will change. Mind over matter respects the telekinetics. To move the body and choosing how to breathe is enough proof you are divine. It takes 3 days for the exhale to return to you. Your exhale is part of the many winds, shifting mountains with hurricanes, creating eruptions from volcano to volcano. No need to downplay your God-like essence. The external pressure of life will rule how you breathe until you rule the way you breathe. If you believe in light, it's because of impurity. If you believe in joy, it's because of sadness. If you believe in breath, it's because of the dead. To get more of life, give more to yourself. With every exhale of expression from the essence that is you. You get in life what you have the courage to breathe energy into. We are gods with amnesia. Every exhale is there to remind us of the divinity we all have. You create even when perception is at a standstill, doing nothing. From nothing to something is written in your DNA like the great alchemist you are. People meet me and say, "You're so quiet." Nah, I'm just adjusting my energy levels. Give me a few breaths. Spirit hygiene is real. You will cry tears of gratitude when you realize that your breath journey was the path home to yourself. Your breath must arrive at the destination before life does. The breath is light. Nothing travels faster. Align. You have to train connection of breath to be stronger than your emotions, or else you'll lose yourself every time. know your immeasurable wealth and worth. Every breath experienced to get to this lifetime is unfathomable to the human mind. Your worth is off the charts. She is water, powerful enough to drown you, soft enough via breath to cleanse you, and deep enough to save you. Any person capable of causing you to breathe in a frantic way, thus feeding anger, becomes your master. As you rise to the next level, with quality breaths, life will demand a different version of you. Benefits of breathing only with the nose during exercise. Reduce exercise-induced bronchoconstriction, improve ventilator efficiency, improve psychological economy. Wanting something means you are affirming it's currently not there. Wanting implies lack. The opposite of wanting is gratitude for every breath and experiencing a chance to enhance the current reality you've created. Feeling grateful for something before it's here unifies you with that reality. The breath has touched every dimension of reality. Once you accept that, you will shift. Alchemy, breathwork, turning electric breaths into gold. Real men acknowledge their trauma head on. That macho man talk that society has brainwashed you to believe is toxic and limiting. The divine masculine acknowledges his emotions and takes accountability in how it affects women and others. The homie says, bro, there isn't many of us breath workers and light workers. I told him, less is more. There's plenty of us. Energy speaks volume. Do not get distracted by the physical and lose sight of the unseeable that affects it. Breathe to heal and activate, not to annihilate. The world wasn't formed in one day, and neither are we. More quality breaths and use less to embody more. Mouth breathing is stimulated by the upper lungs, which triggers the sympathetic nerve receptors to push us to become more hyperactive and prevents us from entering into a deep sleep. As a result, our body produces adrenaline to compensate for sleepiness. Breath work with the mouth before sleep is not ideal if one wants a quiet night. To the individual, gradually improving yourself with quality breaths, thoughts, and food, never apologize to a critic who has no understanding. Educate them. Do not argue. And if they refuse your gesture, that is none of your business. That's between them and their internal battle. Be genuine and express the highest impact. Our body is guided by our heart. Our heart is guided by our soul. Our soul is guided by our breath. Our spirit minds us and is guardian of all. People's noses should be only in your business when you want them to be or when you allow them in your breathwork space. No matter how thin the slices of your choices in life are, There will always be two sides of the spectrum, breathing a different perspective. On the inhalation, vagal tone diminishes and sympathetic tone rises. On the exhalation, sympathetic tone falls, while vagal parasympathetic tone increases. You connect more to your deepest essence on the exhale, where the creative spirit inside is elevated and not suppressed by external forces. Detach from stimulation with the mouth and sync with creation. In alchemy, we don't use the mouth. Tao Te Ching, close your mouth, block off your senses, soften your glare. That is the primal identity. Master the breath that moves you to master your own manifestations of the mind. You are not getting older. You are leveling up one quality breath at a time. Breath is the ink. Consciousness is the paper. Belly full, but you're not hungry? It's most likely air hunger and parasites causing imbalances. The more imbalances you have, the more open you are to their control. Efficient breathing is the primary tool to regulate the pH in the blood, thus regulating everything, giving the domino effect to balance the whole body. Whenever you shame something or yourself, notice your breath become shallow. To have such thoughts of projecting limiting beliefs on something or someone is turning shame into a soul-eating emotion. To feel the truth is to breathe into existence as it is, not what it could be, which is like chasing breaths from the past and future. Exhaling what no longer serves you is an oxymoron. The fact it takes 3 days for that same exhale to come back to you is serving you in many ways. Everything serves you. Progression in some form. Dualism is the illusion and causes contradictory manifestations. If you want to improve you and your soul, you have to sacrifice the parts of yourself, suffocating its quality airflow. A delay doesn't mean denial. The next breath will come in this life and beyond this current vessel. The manifestations is already here. The lack of energy you perceive is misalignment of breath. Human behavior flows from 4 main sources: breath, emotion, desire, and knowledge. When one loses sense of breath, one can find similarities like the desert missing the rain. Every year teaches us breath is key. 2, life has to move on. When you see a guide, follow the path. Do not copy their walk or breathing. Aim for quality breaths and swagger with every step. Your assumptions are windows to the world. They get foggy when you're panting and too close to see the bigger picture. Sit back, slow your breath, and finally let the light in. If you do breath work and spirits with dark thoughts come through, make them do the breath work too. They preach about the end of time when life is the greatest gift. Instead of wanting or waiting on time to win, breathe life into all the gifts in front of you. Trapped in desire, you only see the manifestations. Most people don't see the breaths in between, causing the ripple. You are not responsible for the traumatic breaths experienced in childhood. As an adult, you are 100% responsible for fixing it. Chemical-based drugs block our biochemistry to reduce symptoms. Breathwork, fruits, and vegetables restore our biochemistry to create health. Trapped in desire, you only see the manifestations. Again, most people don't see the breaths in between causing the ripple. The best revenge is to breathe deeper quality breaths than your enemies. Air mantra. As new cells birth anew, I am breathing in a better version of myself. From the sound penetrating your ears, from visuals digging into your eyes, to the breath going in and out the nostrils, everything is sex. The breath is the invisible God that gives visible results. Every time I see or meet someone new, I'm reminded no one paints like the universe. The breath doesn't give advice, it gives a different perspective. Be you till full. Beautiful. Quality breath by quality breath. Take your power back. If love and your highest expression of breaths did not send you, I'm unavailable. Don't run away from the dilemma. Sit with it and introduce a higher version of yourself, one quality breath at a time. Some people only like to count their troubles. They don't calculate the breaths in between towards happiness. May every breath bring you prayers to your higher vibratory heights, to a point where no heights exist. Parasites can come in the form of people too. The healing journey never ends. The breath of life endures. When you lift another's quality of breath and mind up, you lift humanity up. When you step into the role of author for your breath, you become the author of your peace. Just being able to take a step towards your highest potential is rewarding enough. Speaking things into existence is powerful, but let's not forget the quality of breath that sparks it. Slow down the breath to speed up the wisdom. Thank you all for sharing the breath. Peace.
Deep into the cosmos, it's something you follow.
So we venture off into the unknown, into the highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
Welcome. This is Breath Tao 5. The more you step into your breath-giving essence, the more you acknowledge the role of co-creating your reality. Congrats to everyone who moved on to the next breath without a genuine apology or closure you deserve. That's not easy. When you say no to the breath, you say no to yourself. Get her and yourself wet with loving affirmations and quality breaths before using the tongue on the body. A higher quality of life is a quality breath away. You win by feeling into your power, not going against it. Making mistakes and breathing life into actions that help you move forward is the oldest way of learning. People love to see the world of suffering, but forget the ones who overcame and breathed through it. You want power because you are numb to the fact love is within every breath. Breath is the bridge between you and everything. Alchemy breathwork is nitric oxide therapy. Let natural law and breath do the talking. If your essence and intention is pure, you'll be laughing laughs at every point where tension was created. May those who are stuck within the tension find the courage to move on. The world is always handing you opportunities of a lifetime every day, but too often we fail to see them when our core being is misaligned. Problems are doors of opportunity to breathe more life into weak foundations of your being. The way you breathe frequently becomes your frequency. The best way to predict the future is to step into the role of co-creator and breathe life into the process. They asked if I was free tomorrow. I answered, as long as I am breathing, I am expensive every day. Air mantra. With every breath, I'm accepting more love, gratitude, and the power to let go. To breathe in more of the things you love, be patient with the things you hate. Your path being hard is a beautiful thing. You're breathing in a not-so-average destiny. It's going to need that special power you use to break through to fulfill it. Drop into your breath before dropping into any part of your body, because the fuel that goes into the car is important. The breath is not a worshiper of poverty. Its characteristic is pure abundance with the flow of an infinite cycle from lifetime to lifetime. Natural law shows us we can be rich and spiritual within an infinite paradigm. Breath consciousness allows you to see the energy grid for what it is, not what it could be. I asked the breath, "What's it up to?" It said, "Transforming." Breath is a language not constricted by time. Quality breath is the foundation of great civilizations. You have to breathe into pain to know it. Air mantra. With every breath, I'm accepting more healing from the highest dimensions of infinite source. Every time I meet another seeker of breath, I repeat an ear mantra. The breath got this. The compound effect is what builds up the little things to macro manifestations. The breath sparks the friction causing the ripple. Can you feel it? We breathe air exhaled from trees whose leaves are made up of biophotons and light energy. Our veins echo the patterns of rivers, branches, and root systems. We are not part of nature. We are nature. Fear sees a threat in times of change, yet the breath knows nothing can remain the same. We breathe and we breathe. Conscious breathing simply makes us more aware that clear vision is our natural state of being. Conscious breathing creates a time, place, and space whereby we might discover our personal truths. Our truths that await our arrival, our truths laying quietly, patiently, and eternally in the underbelly of our existence. Creating a safe container whereby we allow the flow of emotions. The container is our body, mind, emotions, sensations, spirit, and everything about us. The container is this sacred sanctuary of energy we occupy and move about in with while on this earth plane. Energy is either stagnant or moving. Emotions are simply energy in motion. When energy moves, we feel it as emotion or sensations. If an emotion or sensation is potent, uncomfortable, or challenging, human beings have a tendency to resist, suppress, or repress. The quality of our existence and experience can be self-regulated by breathing consciously, slowly, and deliberately. Breathe the energy you want to attract. Go with the present breath, because the past, and future does not last. People fear feeling, while feeling fear. I'll keep living in the light while giving respect to the darkness and let the breath lead the way. Breath pattern and perception is the cause. Life is the effect you have to live with. Never expect to get what you give. Not everyone has breath awareness and a heart like you. Most diseases start with breath patterns and mental health before solidifying into the tissues causing illness. You have to breathe. there, to know there. When you come out the womb, that first breath ignites the clock. Life is not about the dying, it's about the living. Be so full of breath and self-love that none of the external noise can enter. Your credentials is in your spirit and breath. A lost man is a creature who clings to his past and cowered towards his future. A wise man found himself fearless in the current breath. Feed energy to quality breaths and starve shallow perceptions. Follow your breath and heart. The mind has too many falsehoods feeding ego. It's better to be felt than seen. Someone who can feel their quality of breathing enhance around you has a deeper connection than what you are showing them. They come one in a dozen. Many will numb themselves to false narratives versus real-time interactions. The breath opens portals of presence. True power don't come to those who seek it. It comes to those who deserve it and co-create harmonious breaths feeding it. Breath is the primary source for thought patterns. Efficient breathing brings cellular regeneration. The most underused medical tools: parasympathetic breathwork, fasting, sunlight, sleep, meditation, exercise, fun experiences, earthing, and grounding. Let breath let go. Breathwork is spirit's favorite work. Air mantra: every breath marks an opportunity for growth. I am in competition with no one. I have no desire to play that game when there are more possibilities in the realm of co-creation. I am simply accepting more of the energy to breathe better than my last breath. I am playing the breathe your best life game. When emotional, physical pain is identified, start with fixing the breath. The race against time is hell. The understanding of race against your best breath is heaven. Learning to handle breath is to navigate yourself. Notice your pattern of breath every time you enter a new environment and notice internal dialogue. Breath air mantra: I am leveling up with every breath. The greatest sound cannot be heard. The greatest image has no form. The breath is a multidimensional entity filled with expansive properties, waiting in divine timing to be aligned with co-creation whenever needed. Years of education, yet no one taught us to love ourselves with parasympathetic breathing. The importance of mental health in all aspects of life and how it affects business and performance. breath is a portal into divine timing. Don't waste your breath suffocating in fear. It deserves more than that. Steer it in the right direction and be part of loving creation. When we use auditory sensitivity practices within breath, we realize the hidden patterns affecting our reality. Breath consciousness is more than just breath work. Using efficient breathing habits to prevent illness and disease is far more important than seeking, wanting, thinking of cures. Breath structure is life structure. Quality breaths is a series of rebirths. I asked the breath, why do the many have to suffer? The breath answered, many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. There is a natural mystic blowing through the air. It's not just me. The breath reminds you of your infinite potential to break the limiting beliefs. Everyone has their own opinions, but the breath keeps showing up when needed. The best day ever doesn't stop. It goes on and on with every breath. If you're breathing right now, you are blessed to be in the position to create powerful ripples into many different dimensions of reality. Remember, you can steer the direction into manifestations of growth or destruction. Breath sparks the essence of choice. The integrity of energy will always keep its foundation. The breath helps define the love from believe to just be. When you reprogram your breath, you reprogram astral and emotional projection. After breathing lifetime after lifetime, the breath reminds us you're not running out of time. You are running out of opportunities within a life to express the highest version of yourself. Your birthday is not the first day of breath and won't be the last. This part of reality is just a speck in the grand perceptions of unity. It started with Source, to parents, to you. The breath meets you wherever you're at. Now that's unconditional love. The breath has been my faithful lover for infinite lifetimes. Show me what you pay attention to, and I will show you what type of energy you are breathing life into. The breath helps turn wounds into wisdom. We are breathing in and out God's blood. We are part of the microcosm of the macro within a mirror connecting all. Efficient breathing will offend the impurities you carry. That's how honest the breath is. The mind is part of a multidimensional printer, fueled by the Source breaths. Give time to thank the co-creator for working harder than death, giving you a breath in the now. You learn a lot from mistakes versus things that go according to plan. God don't make mistakes.
and you've been given another breath to realize this within divine existence. Sharing the power of breath doesn't come with trophies. I just do it because I'm supposed to. The only power we have is that we can do better. Honor is breathing in the right direction even when you have to fight yourself. May every inhale, exhale, breathe more life into your progression as you listen to this breath Tao. When you complain about change, you blind yourself of the change within. The breath runs on divine timing. The breath doesn't shrink to the places you have outgrown. It harmonizes with energy that is in need of release within that current now. Giving attention to your breath gives you awareness of your own blessings. The love for yourself and spirit have the keys to transcend any blockage. Where breath goes, neural firing flows and neural connection grows. One cannot have inspiration without the inhalation. Manifesting is not dreaming and wishing. Manifesting is breathing life into the actions that will help you along your path of creation. The sound of your exhale is as holy as any mantra. You become what you understand. In any moment, we can find peace within our breath. A wise human never loses anything if it has deep connection with breath. When you follow the crowd's breathing pattern, you lose yourself. When you follow your own, you lose the crowd. Eventually, your integral oneness opens awareness to others and who are on that path. Do not fear the process of experiencing one quality breath at a time, and you will find your breath family. Notice what happens in your breath and body instead of living up in your head. Life gives clear directions when you follow your internal status. Breathing poorly is like buying everything on credit.
One day you'll pay for it. If it's easier to imagine and feel more fear than the attributes helping you grow foundations in your life, it's time to breathe more life into experiences that share highest quality of excitement. Give your breath as much attention as you do your food, and you'll be 1,000 times better off. The quality of breath helps with the quality decision making with more body awareness. Every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your breathing pattern, mirroring the mechanics. The breath can guide you to break through as you break down from your ego trips. The harmonious breath reveals anger in people because the truth it emits contradicts the lie they live. The deeper the love for your breath, the deeper the love for peace. Inside your breathing mechanics is the greatest battle for peace. Take a conscious inhale and exhale between any intake of food or liquid and pay attention to how you feel. Conscious breathing while intaking builds a stronger connection with the material. Speak of unconditional love, then it is inevitable to speak of the breath, that infinite source of vitality that never leaves you and expects nothing in return. When caught in hesitation on deciding whether or not to take a conscious breath, ask yourself this: how important is my personal growth? Breath is a subtle but a powerful communicator from fight to dense properties of our everyday life. Breathe consciously first. Think later. Adapt to natural order. To breathe and know healing, you must first breathe through pain and suffering. Despite our differences, we are all connected by the breath. Despite we come from different places, we are all led by the way we utilize the breath. If If you always sit in expectation, chasing past or future breaths, you're not in the present moment. The present moment contains the breath of the now. Jesus and Buddha didn't build churches or temples. They realized that when you make each breath holy, you accept the reality that you are the holy temple. The universal creator don't write in books. It imprints on every breath you breathe, touching and leaving a mark on your heart. Follow your breath, thus follow omnipresence. History never repeats itself. The being, you, controlling the breath pattern, creating reality, always does. Cutoffs are not personal. They are spiritually healing and breath-giving. Giving awareness to the fact that everyone is breathing is to practice non-duality. If your ability to give blessings is limited, so is your ability to receive them. As above, so below. This is a subtle operation of omnipresence. Love, friendship, respect are attributes a common human yearns. Yet, these characteristics can be found within your breathing mechanics. A lot of people talk about Kundalini awakening. People barely talk about maintaining it. Breath levels is the underrated bridge to the endless experience. The most important weight you need to lose is not on the outside. It is within your breathing mechanics that allows the weight of stress into all dimensions of your being. You don't need to try to feel better. Use the breath to better yourself at the feeling, and your sense of better becomes a byproduct. Whenever you feel jailed by depression, remember, the breath is your locksmith. My breath is a sword that cuts all that is distorted within the mind to create a clear path to unlimited potential. When you feed your child junk food, slowly killing them, it causes shallow breathing. Subconsciously, they resent you because breath governs mental patterns as you dehydrate them with certain substances. They asked, "What is my favorite mantra?" I responded, "The sound of my breath that is responsible for creating all words." Even though the breath creates a path, you still have to utilize your willpower to walk it. When a human's virtue exceeds their talent, they breathe life into their superiority. Mouth breathing puts one's mind in survival mode. Nasal breathing allows one's mind to be in a thriving environment. The less stress you feel, the easier it is to heal in every aspect of your life. Less stress allows deeper connection to breath, enhancing the quality of the healing. The breath keeps me grounded in the now age, not the old age or the new age. Ye, who is stuck in dogma, will never break free from forms of cycle of contradiction. Giving reverence to every breath is to acknowledge the law of abundance. The breath taught me more of unifying than vilifying. When you get this breath of truth, solution and progression will come ahead of fueling problems. Anxiety is breath without control or lack of conscious intention. Go breathe consciously at places that impaired your breathing. Shift the narrative in your consciousness. No pill from a pharmacist will ever replace fasting, real food, sunlight, breath work, exercise, and sleep. Someone came and asked, "What's the problem with the world?" The shaman replied, "Many have severed their connection with the breath and how its patterns manifest reality." If the Most High is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of the pestilence that crawleth? In a world where everyone is wearing a mask, it's a privilege to hear deep conscious breathing. The invaders of the earth said, "Take us to your leader." The people replied, "Avoid leaders, follow the breath." How you breathe is how your perception filters life. The way you breathe is the fuel that forms a kinetic electric pattern which determines how chemicals are converted in the body. quality of breath is a factor in your quality of thoughts. The power of thoughts can either cause you illness or recovery. 85% of communication is nonverbal. Breath mechanics and patterns is part of that percentage. Can you feel it in the air? The amount of breaths you take outweigh your fears. Breathe responsibly and feel its power. You had more conversations with your spirit and breath, body and mind versus any human. Natural governance over outcomes you experience is heavily dependent on your inner dialogue. Peace is a result of training your breathing pattern to process life as it is instead of chasing breaths of the future or past. Our gut is a computer system with self-modifying code, and our breath is the data. Blood makes you related. Loyalty, vibrating and breathing on the same frequency makes you family. The more gratitude you have for every breath, the more one perceives an abundance of winds. Sympathetic style of breathwork while fasting is like fighting an atomic war with a knife. You lose sustainability, creating new voids of cravings, waiting to be filled. We are all black airbenders, bending black air, space, void, pushing life into our current manifestations and experiences. You are not the best of you because we have not been exposed to the rest of you. What you consider the best is between you and your life choices. Outside opinions are irrelevant. Be one with your spirit and breath. That is how you transcend self with the ever-changing reality. Learning how to breathe less than normal allows the buildup of carbonic acid, which calms the nervous system, improves oxygen and blood flow to the brain, and gives many benefits of a high-protein diet, such pain-free mobile joints, without the disadvantages of having to eat so much. Standing your ground as much as you can. Never let fear rule the way you breathe. Let growth rule the way you breathe, for it gives life into your passion. The breath resides in all dimensions of reality, including the void. When you sleep or dreaming, you are breathing. Breath is the string keeping all energy bodies interconnected. The more connected you are with your breath, the easier it is to break the cycle of self-sabotage. More feeling allows you to create space for more healing, detaching from addictions. Everyone is focused on nutrient deficiency. The day every school teaches frequency deficiency is the day medicine as a whole builds efficient foundation and bridges that will bring all sectors together. Being aware of your breath is a muscle. Exercise it, building strong foundations in every element of your daily life. Everything is spiritual if you think or feel otherwise. Get back to feeling more. Alchemy breathwork is more than just breathwork. It's an acknowledgement that we are breathing in more bodies than one. The quantum, emotional. There are many elements of the living breath beyond physical techniques, which is what mainstream breathwork focuses on. Even if you don't breathe at all through the nose or mouth, your pores are still breathing. Your astral body contracts. What do you think it's doing? Breathing. When reading ancient texts, see and feel in between the lines. Thank you all for sharing your breath.
Fury, why haven't you called any of your special friends down?
This is personal. We can't keep depending on these superheroes to swoop in and save our asses. None of them have lived the life I have. None of them can defend the world the way I can. The only power I have was planted between my ears by a single mother and wrapped around my finger by a woman who's far greater than I could ever hope to be. If that ain't enough, then I don't know what hope we have. If that ain't enough, maybe I am just dust.
Breath Tao 7. Welcome. I am more than a teacher, coach. I'm a living reminder reflecting breath and its multidimensional characteristics. On the breathing journey, contrast is more important than rhythm. Your perception of time, taking in a 4-second inhale, etc., could actually mean 4.5.6.7. The counting of breath itself is less taxing mentally on the subconscious mind computing. Time, as we think of it, is not innate to the natural world. In case no one told you, the world belongs in your breath, not your shoulders. You filter consciousness in how you want to experience it instead of making it a burden. They will call it voodoo when you breathe life into your dreams, transmuting in the physical. Alchemy breathwork is medication for mental health and deficiencies without deteriorating side effects. Breathe life into what builds. Doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop breathing, there is still opportunity. Out of many fractals, we are one inhale and exhale. Dealing with grief is what makes us human. Breathing through it together is what makes us family. If you're congested in your breathing after eating or drinking, you either consume too much or what you're consuming is causing you more mucus. Use the breath to navigate what's happening in your body. Spirituality is a place a lot of people go to hide from mental illness till they realize everything is spiritual and there is no hiding from themselves. The sky is not the limit. What you choose to breathe life into is. The breath is a string connecting to every dimension possible you can think of. Where there is a thought, there is a breath behind it. Breathe life into the greatest version of yourself you can think of. Most importantly, feel. The breath gives you the best of all worlds. A philosopher is a lover of wisdom. The emotional scars you have are badges of your breath journey. Before gazing onto planetary cycles, tap back into your breath patterns. You're going to need it to travel to that point anyway. Prioritize the quality of the ride heading to the destination. The spirit form generates the dark matter form. The dark matter form generates the light form. And the light form generates the physical, matter, atomic form. Hence, we are all black airbenders. You either choose the pain of growth and discipline or the pain of non-action without intent, leading towards regret. Dear cancel culture, aim higher, go for the IRS, processed foods, disharmonious breathing habits, influencing reality. God is in your essence. Check your breath for reference. I want to give a shout out to the breath. It's one of my biggest investors in everything I do. When you compete with others, you run out of breath chasing what they have. When you compete with what you're capable of, another breath is there waiting to be used for unlimited potential. Within the center, less energy is needed when a solid foundation keeps you afloat on the path to growth. You'll crash more chasing dopamine. Breathing life into purpose will have a clear path with less blind spots. Mental breathwork in everyday life takes triggers head on, focusing on transmutation instead of allowing the trauma to settle in. Triggers arise, exposing our most vulnerable parts, allowing us to breathe into improving the relationship or allowing it to dictate the path. Breathing life into silence with intention sends ripples into the manifested action. Those withdrawal times are great points in time to rewire with nasal breathing patterns, sending biofeedback to parasitic nature of addiction to the root. Beyond the attachment to the physical thing, we are also addicted and attached to breathing patterns they induce, to layers within cellular communication. True meditation has no destination. The breath reminds us of this natural law. All things forever in their proper places.
It is easy to each one be skillful, but it is difficult to teach him his own attitude.
Welcome to Breath Tao 8. When you breathe into gratitude, first thing when you open your eyes, it will show up in other areas of your life. Mental breathwork programs the unconscious breath. Tap in with structured breath to help make a path out of a repetitive prison. Emotions are energy. Energy loves to move. When stuck emotions cause stress, it's the energy asking you to help it move with a conscious breath. Conscious breathers are the witnesses to dimensional layers in real time. The first human conception is between breath and soul. When it comes to addictions, the taste is great and stomach becomes bitter. The gut affects the breathing patterns, locking in an unhealthy attachment on many layers: spiritual, mental, and physical. Train your breath patterns like you would train your muscles. Choose your intentions. Focus on progression. Breathe life into your success. Repeat often. You still have to breathe with every action and reaction. Might as well aim for quality to taste the full depth of what life has to offer. Only a fool trips on what's behind them. Focus on the next quality breath and move on. The lungs are charged with positive solar, negative lunar current.
Because of the pure-heartedness and empty-mindedness inherent in man, his tools partake of these qualities and play their role with the utmost degree of freedom. The tools stand as symbols of the invisible spirit, keeping the mind, body, and limbs in full activity.
You cannot always control your circumstances. What you can control is how you breathe in response, affecting the chemical relationship to that moment. The quality of breath pattern will determine a trauma bond or fluid release. Breath controls the blood, and the blood influences how you feel. Food is medicine. Sleep, rest is medicine. Water is medicine. Touch is medicine. Breath is medicine. Sunlight is medicine. Laughter is medicine. Gratitude is medicine. Kindness is medicine. Presence is medicine. Grounding is medicine. Movement is medicine. Connection is medicine. Community is medicine. Breathing life into progression activates miracles. An investment in proper breath mechanics pays the best interest. The breath may feel empty, but inexhaustible. It gives birth to infinite experiences. Your breathing pattern is negotiable. Hence, your perception of reality is negotiable. Holding a grudge does not make you strong. It makes you bitter. Breathing into forgiveness doesn't make you weak. It sets you free. If the body is the radio receiver, then the breath is the dial, tuning the radio to frequency of your choice. Whether you're conscious of your breathing or not, you are doing a form of breathwork, especially when an awakening occurs. The breath and spirit got you to where you stand now. Mental breathwork is happening on many levels. No supplement or cleanse is going to teach you how to breathe effectively. Which is why, before beginning any supplement, begin with your breath pattern.
When you are bound by a set pattern or ideas or ways of doing things, that's when you stop growing.
I feel I have this great creative and spiritual force within me that is greater than faith, greater than ambition, greater than vision. It is all these combined. My brain becomes magnetized with this dominating force, which I hold in my hand. Whether it is the Godhead or not, I feel this great force, this untapped power, this dynamic, something within me. This feeling defies description, and no experience with this feeling may be compared. It is something like a strong emotion mixed with faith, but a lot stronger.
In the silent spaces between each breath lies the unspoken truth of existence, a force so profound and omnipotent, yet as subtle as a whisper of the wind. This is the realm of the breath Tao. Here in the quiet depths of mindful inhalation and gentle exhalation, we encounter Qi, or Qi, the life force, the essence that animates the universe. It flows through us like a river of cosmic energy, unseen yet ever present, shaping our destiny with the gentle touch of a master sculptor. The breath Tao teaches us the art of balance, the dance of yin and yang within each breath. It guides us to align our inner rhythms with the heartbeat of the universe, to find harmony in the duality of existence. Inhaling, we draw from the wellspring of universal knowledge. Exhaling, we breathe life into our strength, breaking our limitations. The journey is one of transformation, a process of inner alchemy, where the mundane becomes sacred and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Through the breath Tao, we transmute the raw materials of our being into the gold of enlightenment, discovering the alchemists within. In the stillness of the breath, wisdom speaks in a language beyond words. It whispers secrets of the ages, tales of the sages who walked before us, leaving footprints in the sands of time for us to follow. As we delve deeper into the practice of the breath Tao, we realize that we are not just part of the universe, we are the universe. Each breath is a journey through galaxies within, an exploration of the infinite within the finite confines of our being. The breath Tao is not a destination, it is a voyage, an endless exploration of self and the cosmos. It invites us to venture into uncharted territories of the soul, to discover realms of consciousness that defy imagination. As we walk this path, we become custodians of an ancient legacy, a wisdom that has traversed the ages. The breath Tao is our inheritance, a gift from the ancients, a beacon for the future. In the breath Tao, we find that the end is just the beginning. Each breath is a cycle of birth and rebirth, a perpetual motion of creation and dissolution. Here, in the sacred rhythm of breathing, we touch eternity, becoming one with the timeless dance of the Tao. Forget the past, but keep the lessons. Keep breathing into progress, not perfections.
Go bravely on, my friend, because each new experience teaches us a lesson.
access to reality isn't just coded by superintelligence. It's breathed into existence. Consider that 70% of our body's waste is expelled through breath, illustrating its profound influence not just on our physiology, but on our consciousness. Breath is the rhythmic conductor of the mind, orchestrating thoughts and actions with the grace of the innate intelligence.
Research your own experience. Absorb what is useful. Reject what is useless. Add what is essentially your own.
Before we leap into the realm of the artificial, let's master the organic symphony of life, where each breath is a note of the opus of our existence.
Take responsibility for your actions, good and bad.
In this game of life, there are no losers, only winners of experience.
Mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit them.
Every step, every challenge is a victory in its own right, a treasure trove of wisdom gained. Remember, you never truly lose. You triumph with the wealth of experience.
Life itself is your teacher, and you are in a state of constant learning.
Perfect people aren't real, and real people aren't perfect. Breathe into full expression of self without limiting beliefs. breath is the one thing we are capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space. Maybe we should trust that even if we fully can't understand it, trust in the breath, for it is the rhythm of existence, the pulse of the universe, and the whisper of the infinite.
To spend time is to pass it in a specified manner. To waste time is to expend it thoughtlessly or carelessly. We all have time to either spend or waste, and it is our decision what to do with it. But once past, it is gone forever. If you love life, don't waste time, for time is what life is made up of.
It is the unseen conductor of the symphony of life, a reminder that there is more within us and around us than we can fathom. In the hush of a silent breath, we touch the hem of eternity, finding communion with the ancients and the angels and the angles. The breath is our constant companion through the voyage of life, a silent witness to our trials and triumphs. When the world is in chaos, it is a steady drumbeat that calls us back to center. When our spirits soar in joy, it is a wind beneath our wings. It is both the most mundane of acts and the most miraculous of wonders, a testament to a power greater than ourselves.
An intelligent mind is one which is constantly learning, never concluding. Styles and patterns have come to conclusion, therefore they have ceased to be intelligent.
So let us honor the breath, for in its mystery lies the very essence of faith, trust in the unseen, belief in the unbelievable.
Nothingness means nothingness. There's only process happening. When we accept and enter this nothingness, the void, then the desert starts to bloom.
And the courage to embrace the unknowable. In the breath, we find the courage to live, the strength to love, and the wisdom to let be.
The oak tree is mighty, yet it will be destroyed by a mighty wind because it resists the elements. The bamboo bends with the wind, and by bending, survives.
How much disrespect can I take until I cut off a friend or a family member?
The true question is, how much poison can you take before you die?
A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer.
Before a child talks, they breathe. Before they sing, they breathe. Before they stand, they breathe. Before they dance, they breathe. Breath is the foundation of life and the first step in all human expression.
Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do.
Just as art is essential to human expression, so is the breath that fuels every act of creation and movement. When we commit to the sacred rhythm of breathing, we unlock an ancient wisdom, a truth as old as time yet fresh as dawn breeze. It is here we discover the dance of thoughts and reality.
possession of anything begins in the mind.
A ballet of contrasts, not a march of cause and effect. Here in the Cathedral of Breath, we find a deeper intelligence, a knowing that whispers in the hush of an exhale. In the sacred sanctuary of breath, the illusions we built, brick by mental brick, begin to crumble. The prison of our own making dissolves into the ether. As we step out of the shadows of the mind, we bask in the luminous light of body's wisdom, a realm where water's fluidity triumphs over fire's fury, where the gentle flow of being outweighs the rigid flex of doing. We're not just breathing, we're becoming the breath itself. This is the path of the Alchemy Breath Guide, not just a journey of lungs and air, but a journey to the very core of existence. More than fire, more than flex, we are flow. In each breath a universe, in each exhale a liberation. If you're breathing, it's possible. Whatever occurs is part of the learning process, so there is nothing to blame. Everything is the path. Everything is breathing at its own frequency. Just remember, your breath and spirit is a lot bigger than whatever is stressing you out.
Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one.
Why keep complaining and not breathing into progressive steps? The most important relationships you'll ever have is with your breath, mind, and spirit. While telekinesis moves matter, internal kinesis moves minds, hearts, and spirits. Elevate your power within.
Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves.